from iDriver Classic, and this is
Miss Hubnut from the Hubnut and Miss Hubnut channels.
and it's already gone a bit Hubnut today, which makes me think that perhaps Ian has had a bit of an impact on Carly. I think this is about our 50 millionth time at recording an intro.
Yes, yeah.
And we are off to the International Women's Day meet today, and I'm quite excited that Carly's here actually, because I haven't seen her since I was sitting there last night trying to work out with Fred. I haven't seen you since Festival of the Unexceptional in July last year.
I know, but we're in each other's lives like every day.
I know.
Silly messaging.
That is the thing actually. We're like the ultimate pen pals. We text each other all day long, swapping silly memes, chatting about absolute nonsense, me recommending television that Ian hates you watching.
Oh my God, you should see him. I'll be watching it and he'll be like, and I'll just say, it's Steph. Steph made me. And he's just like,
We've got through everything. We've done Toddlers and Tiaras,
Oh my
Dr.
God,
Phil.
yes.
I actually watched something serious this morning. I thought I'm going to make Ian aware that I do actually watch serious stuff as well. So I think both of us are out filming today, aren't we? Because you're filming as well for your channel.
yeah.
And we're going out to find out what it means to be a woman in automotive.
Mm-hmm.
So I know a lot of people are going to be watching this, and there's going to be a lot of people expressing vulnerabilities, sharing parts of themselves that perhaps are something they may not have shared before, or they might be quite new to the world of being on video. So I would say that anybody you see in today's video, please be kind. If you write anything that's derogatory or rude or mean or unnecessarily unkind, I'm just going to delete it and then block you from the channel. Because I'm not allowing people to speak badly about people. It's not nice. If someone is good enough to come on camera, I want them to feel safe in the knowledge that they're not going to scroll down the comments and read nasty things. But I'm hoping we're going to meet a really interesting and exciting bunch of people today, because I know a few of the people coming, and I think that we're going to have a really good turnout today, really good time.
I think so, and I think that's a really important disclaimer, Steph, because we're going to this meet and it's a safe place. Like, we're wearing exactly what we want to wear, and you know, it is a safe space for everybody today. So, like you say, I do not want to have the videos then just be absolutely ripped apart and horrible things said about people.
No.
But it might be educational as well. It might be educational to people.
I think it's good to hear, and do you know what? I'm going to make sure we get some opposing views as well, because I'm very much of the mindset that we have a long way to go in automotive for things to be equal across the board. And there's some people coming today that feel that things are just fine, that we don't need to make any changes at all. So what I'm going to try and do today actually is I'm going to include opinions that maybe I agree with and I don't necessarily agree with. And I think that's really important, because I think if you enter into an echo chamber of only ever showing the people that you agree with and the views that you agree with, you don't learn anything and you don't present a balanced argument. So that's a big thing I'm going to try and do.
No, and I absolutely agree. You do need the two opinions, and I think everybody is going to come from different standpoints with regards to this, which is good. It's also fantastic that there are women there today who are doing jobs that you are not female-led.
Yeah.
So that it will be very good to see how they get on in the industries that they work in, you know.
Absolutely, and there's something I want to ask you, Carly, is you are relatively new to the world of automotive. You've come into it over the last few years. How do you feel, and what do you love about the world of automotive?
I'm very fortunate that I kind of entered from the world of Weird Car Twitter, which is a very nice community space.
It is a nice space.
And so, you get a lot of positivity there. I think I've had maybe one or two negative tweets which I've deleted, because that's my method, is that if I get an unpleasant comment, I will delete it. I will say on YouTube, if we get a nasty comment, we copy, we paste, we put it in the chat, we have a laugh, and then we delete. YouTube can be a little bit more spiteful. There is, and it's purely the fact that I'm a woman. I just don't quite understand it. You know, I'll be like hanging off the car trying to stick an engine in, or under the car getting my eyes filled with filth, just like Ian, and yet it gets aimed at me that, you know, because I'm a woman. Oh, I'm a noisy woman as well, just so you know.
Some of the comments you've had are, well, to be fair, some of the comments I've had recently have been absolutely spicy.
Oh.
That man that asked for a picture up my skirt.
Oh my God!
No offence, I really like uppies.
Steph. That is winning. That is winning.
It was the picture that he attached, like an example, this is what good looks like, and I thought, this is not what I expected to receive. It's just weird, isn't it? But I actually love being a woman in automotive. I think that it's changed. I've been in the scene for over 10 years. It's changed enormously. I think we've still got space to go, but I can't. It's been a good while now since somebody last said to me, "Oh, I like your boyfriend's car," and my views are respected. Not always by everybody, but I'm sure that's the same for men as well. I think that there is still a lot of sexism out there, which is really disappointing, and sometimes there are men that won't listen to your opinion because you are a woman, but there are other men out there that are really great at championing women, that are great at
they're massive allies,
and I think that a lot of people I know you and I take the mickey and we go, oh, not all men, but actually not all men are sexist, not all men are unwelcoming. Some of my biggest allies and my biggest people that have put me forward for good opportunities have been men, and I think that's the great thing is that our space is becoming more inclusive, especially as well to people that maybe don't fit in that box that says I'm a straight man. People that are different in some ways. I remember the first time that I saw the GCCG at a car show, and people were like, "It says gay," and now it's just they're just as accepted and commonplace as the Renault Owners Club or the Metro Owners Club, and that's really great. And I think that where I would like to see us in 10 years' time is anything goes, everything goes, and we're all judged for our intellect, our capability, and the content that we put out, not necessarily our gender. And I know that some people have given me an easy ride as well because they fancy me, and I don't agree with that either.
No, I mean that's the objective with the International Women's Day. If you look at their website, it says it's about equity, which is us being on a level pegging with men. I remember once, and it wasn't gender discrimination, but it works in the same way. So I was climbing the ranks within a certain company, and they do all the personality profiling stuff, don't they? And so you were a certain colour, so I was a blue. And I remember hearing some of the leaders talking, and they were saying, "Oh, we need more yellow in head office. We need more yellow." And I just thought, well, that's me stuffed then, isn't it? Because I'm blue. And it's the same with gender. You do kind of have to earn your place, I feel. Like, I've had quite a few comments where it's been men saying, "Oh, well, I wasn't sure in the beginning, but you've proved yourself." I'm like, thanks.
I know. Right, well, we're nearly there. Let's wrap this up. I thought we were going to be chatting for like 2 minutes, being chatting for nearly 10. But you know what? People have moaned recently that I don't put enough chat content on. So here you go.
We get told we do too much waffle.
Well, it's a bit of waffle from me today, inspired by you.
Thanks.
Oh, sisterhood doing for themselves. Right, now we're going to flip the camera around, and instead of talking about ourselves, we're going to be talking to some of those people at this event and find out exactly from them what it's like to be a woman in automotive, what they love about it, what they're hoping to see in the future, and all about their hopes and dreams as well. We're going to keep this largely positive, a bit of good humour as well, and hopefully you enjoy it. It's a bit of a different one for the channel. But remember, Carly's got video coming out as well, so you put that on Miss Hub Note or Hub Note?
I think we've got 3 going out.
For the today?
They're going to come out on Hub Notes, Hubnut. They're going to be all over the place.
Oh, amazing. So yeah, all the you know where to find Hubnut. And if you don't, where on earth have you been? Did you only land on the internet yesterday? But yeah, we're here. Let's go.
Ooh, exciting times.
Oh, I think you've got a text from somebody. Anyway, right, we're off. See you later.
Bye.
Okay, so I'm Becca from the Passenger Seat podcast, and I'm here with Peggy, my classic car that's inspired me to do today's event. So I've had Peggy for coming up for 3 years now, and on none of those years have I ever seen an event that women can go to feel safe in enjoying cars and celebrating International Women's Day. And so what I really wanted to do was find one of those events. And after a couple of years of not being able to find one of those events, I tentatively put out on Twitter to see if anybody would be interested in coming along to one if I organised it, and the response was really reassuring. It was fantastic that everyone was so supportive of the idea. So then it was a case of finding a venue, which we have done here at Sywell Aerodrome, and getting everybody together, organising a few bits and pieces like the plaques and the stickers, and generally making sure that everybody got here okay to enjoy themselves for the day.
Hi, I'm Katie, also known as Wrenching Wench. You may know me from Twitter or YouTube. This is my Mark II Scirocco called Sylvester. I very much cherish him a lot. Excuse me. I am a full-time mechanic. I work on hire vans. They're pretty knackered. And I've sort of been quite fortunate that I haven't really met much resistance from people I work with and stuff like that. You know, it's something I've always wanted to do since I was a kid. I used to help my dad's friend out in his garage as a child, and I just picked it up from there, and it's all I ever wanted to do. And yeah, but sometimes, you know, you get feedback from customers who are like, "Oh, you're ready to fix my van, are you going to be able to do it right?" and stuff like that. You know, like just the other day, one of the recovery drivers recovered a guy and said, "Oh, there's a young lass that works there." So she came out to my van and thought, "Oh, is she going to fix this?" And then she did, and it's like, well, yeah, I'm qualified. But honestly, I love it, and I don't let what people say get to me. And you know, the thing that I'm aiming to do with the channel is just sort of encourage more women to start tinkering with their own cars, and it's something that they can do. You know, and I mean, luckily that I'm that headstrong and stubborn that I've never let anybody tell me otherwise. But I know a lot of other women can feel intimidated by it and feel like, oh, that's a bit too much for me. So if me just messing about with my cars gets people messing with theirs, then all the better, because half the fun of owning a classic car is keeping it going, and the satisfaction of once you've fixed it and it's back on the road, you know, it makes all the tears, because there are tears, worth it.
Hello, I'm Amanda, and my automotive journey started in 1978 when I left school at 16 and went to work as a Ford apprentice. There were 60 in the year, of which there were 3 women. And they conveniently switched us around, so there was 20 in each class, and one of us was in each one of those 20. So they split us up as soon as we got there. So one of a very, very few women working in Ford. I remember going into the women's sewing area in Dagenham, you know, that film, and it was just like the film. The whole layout, the women's hair, the cigarettes, topless, that type of thing. It was a bit of a shock to a 20-year-old girl from the countryside. So then, I went through my Ford career, 12 years. I then went to Nissan for another 6.5, where I was the first engineer to have a baby. From there, I went to Johnson Controls on different interiors, working for Ford Interiors. I took a little break, went into pharmaceutical and food for a little while, but then I ended up at Lotus, which was a bit like going back back to the 60s, 70s again, where the men were very nice to the women, and there weren't very many of them. You were thought it was little girls, or they sort of chatted you up. It was very, very much like going back to Ford in the 70s, going to Lotus. Women in the automotive industry, it's difficult. You either can be too hard and they'll feel intimidated. You can be too soft and they'll bully you. It's difficult. You have to be better than them. You have to be better than them to prove that you're good, and then they don't like it. So it's a difficult balancing act. Would I recommend it for everyone? No, I wouldn't. I think you've got to be a certain type of person to survive the motor industry. I did for 44 years, and now I'm retired and loving every minute of it.
Hi, my name's Sammy, Retro Sammy on Twitter.
Hi, my name's Chloe. I'm VHS Chloe on Twitter.
How do I get into automotive. I suppose I've always liked cars, but haven't ever really had the ability to do anything family-wise. I was never brought up that way. So yeah, Chloe came into my life, what, 4 years ago?
Yeah.
And you've always loved cars, and as the years have gone on, we've seen other things, we've bought other things, and we're now, what, 7 cars we've owned in those 4 years? So having only owned one car for about 13 years of my life. But no, it's really brought us closer together, I think.
Yeah, because obviously I started in 2016. I had a 1980 MGB GT. I loved that thing. It came from my friends who are now in Germany, Rachel and Stefan, if you're watching this video, hello, I'm sorry I couldn't keep the car. One day I want to buy it back, but it's a lot of money, especially because the plate on it. It was a fun car. It was probably the first time I'd actually really worked on any kind of car. I struggled a lot in the beginning. I worked with my dad. Me and my dad had quite a few arguments about it, especially because his boss wasn't great at the time. But it was an interesting experience. So the car got sold in 2017. I then didn't touch another car until 2020 when I got a Proton 1.3 GL that now belongs to my friend Kez, Ruffian Cars on Twitter. That was the first time I got back into cars. We still had a 2007 Mark II Clio, the car you'd had since. Yeah.
That was my first car that I'd brought in 2013.
Yeah.
Having passed late in my life, and I drove the absolute rubbish out of that and really ragged it, and it was a great car for my first car, but it wasn't what I really wanted. And then Bree, the Clio RT, came along, and the old Clio disappeared, and she's now my new love, and she's currently up on axle stands waiting for a new exhaust. But I'll do anything for that car, and I think that's why we're all here, is we have cars that we love and we want to cherish and keep going, and I will keep doing that.
I mean, that's the reason we're here in a Mondeo, because my granddad had several Mondeos. Now, my relationship's not fantastic with them, but it was the car. Like, going out in the car was always really special, especially because sometimes my dad would drive it. Was always a really special time, because I probably didn't value the car as much as I should have done back then, but the memory stuck with me, and I realised that, no, I probably did value the time I spent in that car, so I had to find another one. So this car appeared, and it's probably one of the nicest Mondeos I've ever seen. I don't even think his were that nice back in the day, but it brings back so many memories, and new memories as well. So, even like I say, sometimes with my granddad, I might not have had the best relationship, but I was able to take a car like this, one that I recognise from my childhood, and say, let's make new memories with this. Let's make a new adventure. Let's make something different, something new. And the best thing about owning a car like this is hearing, I used to have one of those, and somebody comes over and they talk about, back in the 90s, I bought one of these new from Ford or whatever. And that's just the best thing, seeing people smile. And I remember we were in our Peugeot 205 on a housing estate going past, and this older gentleman goes, "Oh, that old car, that is cool." And I just think that was the best thing ever. People doing that's the reason, like, old cars are amazing. Like, give them a chance. They've got a soul. They've got real personality. It's something that I think went away in modern automotive industry, and I think they could learn a bit from that. Be like, bring back soul in cars. We don't want technology. We don't want touchscreens. We want life. We want something fun to do. We want to drive. Don't take it away from us with technology. Bring it back. Make it analog. Make it fun again, and make memories. Have fun, because we're not on this planet forever. So just have fun. Have a car that's fun. Life's too short to have boring cars, as they say. So,
I like to drive.
Yeah, exactly.
I think a lot of people do. They actually want to drive rather than be driven.
Exactly.
And for me, driving is driving. Manual, I love a manual transmission. It's amazing. But yeah, no, I love driving, and that's the whole point.
The thing is, just to go on to that, like, old autos are actually still fun, especially when you put them in gear, because I don't think you really get that with modern cars. They kind of like fire. You can feel the bands fire into gear, and I think that's really fun. Just little fun things like that, and that's stuff I remember as well. Because, like, when I got into my dad's cars, getting old, as I got older, I sort of went, wow, I remember hearing this, and now I'm doing it. I'm in the driver's seat. I'm the one in control, and being able to take my dad around places. I'm reliving my childhood. I'm going through all the cars I grew up with when I was younger, when they were, 50 quid cars. And I said to them, these cars are going to be worth something one day. People are going to want to see these again. And they said, no, they won't be. They will be, and they are. Like, they're appreciating. Get one now. Have fun. Get the car your parents had. Live the fun times again. Make new memories in them. I think that's what old cars are all about. Bringing people together, making new memories, and yeah, going forward and keeping old stuff alive as well, because that's better
what
for
we
the
keep doing.
environment. That's better for the environment as well. Keep old stuff alive.
Right, Selena Walster. This is my Citroen C5. Currently stickered up because we've been doing the Rust Bucket Challenge. We did it last year. We're doing it again this year. The Rust Bucket Challenge is where we drive around 7 countries in a weekend. Very challenging. I didn't do it last year. My husband did with a friend. This year we're doing it as a couple. I think the challenge is going to be whether we can actually get back without a divorce or whether I'm going to leave him behind. But we'll see how it goes. But we're fundraising this year for breast cancer now. So if you want to donate, then please do. You find us on Facebook at Rust Bucket page. Just donate from there. Currently, obviously, the car was originally owned by James Walsh. He sort of like accumulated lots of cars and then decided he needed to offload some. So we sort of like, not borrowed it, got the car. I think we paid about £40 for it, bargain, which comes under the bracket of the under £500 car. So yeah, so we obviously got the car. It's family running. We use it every day. It is literally a workhorse. Love it. It's so comfortable. It's amazing. But yeah, it's one of them cars that you just don't want to get rid of. It's just an amazing little car. Well, it's not even little, is it? But yeah, absolutely love it.
Hi, I'm Matty, and sadly today I've had to come in my new Mini because my 1972 Midget is just having its gearbox put back in again. I have been to classics my entire driving career, life. My first car was a very, very rare 1972 Opel Kadett. At the time it was one of 2 on the road, and then that sadly got stolen, and it broke my heart because I literally took that car everywhere. It was like my right hand man basically. And then I really missed having classics again, so I bought my wife Wolseley 1500 about 11 years ago, and we literally raced it across the country, put so many miles on it, but sadly we didn't take care of the underside, so now it is rotted out, and it's just in there, it's just waiting for some work. About 3 years ago we bought a 1972 round wheel arch Midget, which is absolutely the best thing I've ever bought in my life. And we've had it resprayed, and now it's back to works, and we can't wait to have it back on the road again.
My name's Scarlett. I'm from London, and this is my custom 1953 Austin Somerset. I bought it when I was 19 as original, and pretty soon after the engine got changed to a 2-litre Ford Pinto. Had it like that for a few years, and then about 5 years ago it went into the workshop to have all the customisation work done and to be how it is now.
Hiya, I'm Kaz. I've recently taken part in the 1,000-mile challenge with Fuel Power. It was a part charity drive, part road trip with a few friends, raising money for Crohn's and Colitis UK. And we took this, which is the Daihatsu Sirion. It's got a 998cc engine, full electric windows, air conditioning. It's literally got everything you need for a modern car. Yeah, and it's just perfect for long miles, and yeah, on the motorways it was perfect for driving. After looking online for cars of the similar specification of engine, we came across this car, and I think the overall price of that year is about £2,500, and that was a bargain at about £900, so that really fit our criteria. Yeah, and then I think Matt was looking on Gumtree for that, and he literally just put an offer in, and it got taken within half an hour of being put up. So yeah. And so to basically raise more money for this challenge, we intend to sell it probably after April the 1st, when we go to the Jilks meet with Fuel Power, and yeah, we should make a decent profit on that. and it will all go to that Crohn's and Colitis UK charity.
Hello, my name is Genevieve. I am a member of Fuel Power YouTube channel and social accounts. This is Doran, my Fiat 500. She is now my commuter vehicle for my new job that I've just started. And yeah, she's my first car, so I've not really had much of an experience in that kind of industry, sort of like in that area personally, but I've grown up going to car shows of varying sorts, Minis, Triumphs, Land Rovers, you name it, I've probably been. Very much a child of Bewley. Yeah, and I think coming into this industry and like this area of YouTube was completely new to me when I met Jake, and I've really felt welcome and like part of the community, which is really nice, and building that as we grow our YouTube channel as well, it's been really lovely, and doing something like this is amazing to kind of come and meet other female YouTubers and women in the car scene. It's quite nice, and I've quite enjoyed today. Little chilly though.
Hi, I'm Holly. This is Lady, my Renault. She's a RS200, and I think it's really important to be a woman, especially in the modified car scene. We have not a lot of representation at the moment. I'm very lucky in the French scene compared with maybe some of the Japanese scene and the German scene, as I have a lot of female-owned friends. Some of my closest friends are female in the scene. I'm really, really lucky. But I do see some of the ugly side, especially in the modified scene. I have a lot of nasty comments along the lines of, you know, is it your boyfriend's car? And it's kind of annoying because I also don't really have people try and race me in her as often as I thought I would. But I feel really lucky to be able to be a woman that has a modified car, as if you told, I don't know, little Holly at maybe 10 that she'd be in this position, she'd freak out. So I do feel very privileged, and I'm really happy to be here at the Women's Own Meet today, because it's just really important to have this representation.
Hello, my name's Charlotte Bowden, but friends, classic car folk, you can call me Charlie. I am a writer, a driver, journalist, bit of an adventurer, and I entered the kind of automotive space about 5.5 years ago when I inherited an MJ Roadster from my late grandfather. I recently had the privilege of meeting Faye, so if you want to introduce yourself.
I'm Faye Hatton. I have my own little PR agency in the automotive sector. I used to work in motorsport, and that was 20 years ago. And so yeah, I've worked around cars for 20 years, and I've just come back, having had my children, I've come back into the automotive world, and it feels like coming home. People like Charlie and like-minded people that share their time and their passion, it's pretty special. I've missed it, so it's nice to be back.
Yeah, and we met actually because of a woman, and we are going to be telling her story this International Women's Day, and not really to kind of celebrate International Women's Day, but to showcase the fact that there are amazing women out there doing cool stuff with their cars all the time, all year round, and so it feels really powerful that it's because of because of that story that we can kind of work together and join forces. And also we've had some amazing conversations about women in this space and the future, and also looking back at the past, the biases that we come across within the scene, and just like how we can all help each other kind of navigate our way through it.
I think it's important, we talked about it last week, it's not about putting men down or fighting for the space, because there are incredibly talented, well, you work with journalists, you're a journalist, there are incredibly talented journalists of all shapes, sizes, genders, ages, and it's not a competition, it should be collaboration. And I think women could lead that thought leadership and that shift in the industry. It is a competitive industry. But I know fellow female founders of PR agencies, and we're friends, and I think that if we could sprinkle a bit more of that within the sector, I think that's only a good thing. And I think women do that particularly well. Is that a bit of a stereotype to say?
No,
I think
right.
we work well together. It's not competition.
No, and I get asked a lot is how can you encourage more women to kind of engage with the car scene, and I don't necessarily think it's about specifically encouraging women. I think it's making this a space that everyone can enjoy, and however your passion manifests itself within the automotive space, you're welcome within it. You know, it is important to create safe spaces for people, because you know you do feel vulnerable as an individual, however you identify, and it's just about making it fun, open, and you know, trying to kind of tackle biases and preconceptions and stuff like that, and just making it a happy, safe space for everybody, and not specifically women. But I'm all about championing us, because let's face it, we are a minority, and I think it's important to show what we can achieve, what we do every single day. And so, you know, we're here at Events Day that is the kind of, you know, the point that we're here is to sort of mark International Women's Day. But we're also here every other day. So yeah.
Yeah, I have a daughter, and I would like her to know that women work in automotive and see people like her, and it not being an intimidating space, it being a welcoming space, and that not all the people that make the decisions in the industry are men. You know, women make brilliant decisions. Some of the best people I work with are women. So yeah, let's open the space a bit more.
Hello, I'm Jess, and I've been a mechanic for about 10 years now, and I'm a serial rubbish car buyer, and probably the least rubbish car I've got is this, which is my 1997 Nissan 180SX Type S, for you Nissan nerds, which I imported myself about 5 years ago from Japan. And yeah, it's really great being here at the Women's Day car meet. There's lots of really cool women that I've met who have got really, really awesome cars, and yeah, it's just really nice to have us all as a meet together.